The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Grand Rising, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks, the stressologist. Any stress in your life? Well, most of us do. Unfortunately, we don't know what to do with it. Stress, especially as it relates to worry. I was once a worried about everything, and I finally figured it out. Yeah, I've been certified with the American Society of Training and Development, National Speaker Association, and a host of others. But none of those organizations helped me stop worrying. They just gave me validation for the public to see what credentials I have. So the credentials I have now are from life experience, and I've learned how not to worry. And you can learn how not to worry too. It is indoctrinated in us to worry. We don't have the answers, so we think the worst is going to happen. Well, I got a solution to that, and that is the worry work. So pull that up for weeks. Pull that up for you on the blog. Why do you worry when you don't have to? Go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, and you can sign up right there and find out how you. And remember, sharing is caring. If you care about yourself and your loved ones, help them see their way out of a mess. Give them the gift. It makes a great birthday gift. It makes a great holiday gift. So instead of running to the store getting something that they really might not need, give them a worry-free life. Give them the gift of a worry-free existence. And thanks for sharing. Make it a great day. Grand Rising. And thank you so much for joining me this morning on the Female Solution and the Higher Learning Network TV show. It is Monday, July 24th, and thank you for being here with me this morning. It's another hot, blistery day in the city of Chicago. Well, actually, it's a hot, blistering day all over the planet. Speaking to my girlfriend Val yesterday, who's going on a cruise to Greece, and it's like 20 degrees in Greece, and everything is melting away, and it's like, are you sure you want to go there? But to each his own. Only time will tell. Happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If you are celebrating a birthday, we're celebrating it with you. And let us always keep in prayer the sick, the shut-in, the incarcerated, and the non-believers. Those who have just given up hope. So we cannot give up hope. That's all we have. So let us keep in mind that faith is what will help us endure in these trying times. Today's topic, if you lost your innocence, childhood trauma is real. There's a young man by the name of Marcos Gray, sentenced to a life sentence at the age of 15. This is his book. Met him at the West Side Ministers Coalition, and he tells an awesome story about how he was locked up at the age of 15 and given a life sentence. And so today we're going to be talking about a horrific story, just Anyway, tune in. If you're listening online, we'd love to get your comments at 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak after the 7:30 break. And join us on our social media, Facebook and YouTube, Higher Learning TV show. And be sure and check out our blog, which is zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. Forgot to mention in the news, Tony Bennett made his transition 96 years young. I had no idea that in 1961 he joined the March to Selma, from Alabama to Selma. I had no idea. Did you know he was right there with us fighting for human rights? You remember that song in 1970 with Eleanor Rigby? Well, he almost drowned in a tub, just like Whitney Houston did. Did you know that? I had no idea. And, he had problems with alcohol and drugs, just pretty much everybody, a good portion, I won't say everybody, but a good portion of those who are working in the entertainment industry to drown out whatever, the voices were in your head. So, but at the age of, 27? Yeah, he did, just like he did a performance with Lady Gaga, he did one for Amy Winehouse, who also passed at the age of 27 of overdose of alcohol and drugs. Tony Bennett did not pass from alcohol and drug overdose. I'm just making the comparisons what the news said about Amy Winehouse, her death at 27, and then he found success again with Lady Gaga. Because I know people were like, "What is he doing with gay? He 97 and she's 67, 27, 37." Anyway, that is one of the reasons why in August 2021 he took his final bow. I guess you sang his final song with Lady Gaga. So we remember Tony Bennett. Okay, what was the last song he sang? Because of You. And it is because of you that we're here today on the Female Solution, sharing this information with you. So thank you for sharing this show this morning. As we take a look, if you are headed out and about this morning, it is just your regular crazy Monday morning traffic, which is brought to you by Karen Kelly of iTex. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner and you have products or services to offer the public, then itex.com is a great place to go and sign up. And you can sign up and get $100 to join immediately just by mentioning my name, Zelda, 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 as Richard Piggy would say. And get that $100 and go shopping. You can go to the Caribbean, Alaska, Hawaii, Mexico, anywhere in the continental USA you can go, because they've got trips like right now to Hawaii and Vegas and all that good stuff. It's just, I don't know. What about now? I'm not going anywhere while it's a little hot. It's hot here. If it's hot here, I know it's hot everywhere. I'm staying right here and get my fan and sweat and wipe like I'm doing now, because it's hot. You see, I got the sun coming in one window. I got the light here. So, yeah, I'm on. And then I'm drinking this hot tea. That doesn't help, right? Well, that's my story, and sticking to it. There are no reported delays on Metro and CTA, but the weather is warm, baby. Dry weather, hot and sunny, up to almost 90 today. Right now at 66. There is a low chance for rain, but always cooler by the lake. They mentioned some haze today, too. 90 Tuesday and 95 on Thursday. Ooh, I'm sweating already. As we take a look at the Kennedy inbound, your usual delays, 38 in, 24 out. On the Eaton, just 23 in and 21 out. On the Eisenhower, 35 minutes in, 29 on the reverse. On the Stevenson at Midway, you can always expect delays. It's 23 minutes in, 18 out. On the Dan Ryan Express lanes outbound at 63rd Street, there's a car on fire, which has been cleared up. That's 14 outbound and 16 inbound. On the Bishop Ford, 13 in, 11 out. And DuSable Lakeshore Drive is 10 minutes in and 9 minutes out. And that's your traffic and weather, sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com. Be sure and go there and get your $100 reward to go shopping immediately. Be sure and tell them Zelda sent you. And I'm also sending you to the diabeticdonut.com. If you are anywhere in the world and you are suffering from diabetes, you no longer have to, because my sister, not someone, shared with me a recipe with apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, and turmeric. I know it was one more. Excuse me. When you put those items together and you drink them, they do not taste good, but baby, they work. That's all I can tell you. They work. So get yourself together and share that information. Diabeticdonut.com. And remember to set those DVRs for Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 to see the Higher Learning Network TV show. And you can always see it when you download the cantv.org app. Just go to channel 19 and you'll see the Higher Learning TV show. And if you are a part of this human human experience you're having, there's a lot going on in the world that demands our attention, especially as it relates to social media. And that is one of the things that I am honored to be a part of the Higher Learning Network, because we're going to be teaching our youth how to start a podcast and maintain a podcast and profit from a podcast. And that information will be available on our board at higherlearningnetwork.org. So that's what we're doing for the youth. Oh, and this Saturday, it is the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest. If you go to my blog, you will see that information there. Every last Saturday of the month, we have teens from the ages of 13 through 19, and we invite them to participate and to showcase their natural gifts, talents, and abilities. So, if you go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, you will always see the updates for the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest. And I'm going to scroll down just so you can see that. That's from today's show, Did You Lose Your Innocence? Lost Innocence, The Life of a Juvenile Lifer, with Marcos Gray. He'll be coming on at the 7:30 hour. But right now, here is the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest. It's this Saturday from 12 noon until 1 p.m. Students 13 through 19 can compete. All they have to do is send in a 60-second video clip. Go to YouTube and get your free video, free channel, I should say. Doesn't cost you anything. And you send that 1-minute video clip to hlntvshow@gmail.com. All the information is there, right there on my blog. And there's a lot of other information there too. So there's an event coming up this week with science fiction author Okima Seven Gun that will be taken Friday. And you just scroll down. I got a ton of information that I've put up over the weekend, and it is there for your education entertainment, whatever. What they say, whatever floats your boat. So that information is there. Oh, this is what oh my God. You have got to see this and hear my story on Tired of Picking Cotton. I just had to show that to you. So go to zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. I went to Dollar Tree the other day looking for some supplies, and I walked in the door and saw a thing of cotton. I could not believe it. You'll see more of that on my Instagram page. I couldn't believe it. They are selling cotton. Well, we picked cotton for $2 for a 6 foot long bag of cotton. $2. You hear what I said? $2. This was in 1969. And now they're selling this cotton to the store. I mean, it took me out of here. I could not believe I'm living in a day and time where they're selling cotton in the store. And we're here, we have slaved from sun up to can't see sun up to can't see sun down. Lord have mercy. You live and you learn. Okay. So go to my blog. Not my blog, my Instagram page, Zelda Speaks, the number 2 and the letter U. You'll see it. And there's another one too, Zelda Speaks, the number 2 and ME. Don't ask me how that happened, because you young people, y'all know what to do. Anywho, for the young people, we have some Brookfield Zoo tickets valid through March 31st of 2024. And they are available to you. All you have to do is text me your information, and I've got a new text number for you to use. And here it is right here. Text us at this number, 312-383-9749. You get exclusive updates as well as some free Zoo tickets. And you got to get them in before they disappear. Okay, so the new number to text Monday Morning Mindfulness, 312-383-9749. Okay? Alrighty, so be sure and share that. Okay? Alrighty, it is time for our Monday Morning Mindfulness meditation, in which we take this time to center ourselves, to become one with the one. So what we're going to do is simply get quiet. And how do we do that? We take the time to close our eyes and open our heart. And this is a time that before we wake up and running out the door, it is imperative, I cannot stress to you enough, that we spend some quiet time. The time that we spend with ourselves first thing in the morning is the time that we need to prepare ourselves for a hectic day. So before we do that, let me share with you Monday Morning Mindfulness from Mike House. And it says Monday, July 24th. I love you, God. Using more words to express our love for God seems inadequate. For what words truly do justice to the magnitude of our expansive emotions and the depth of our souls' intimacy with God? Since love is often described as an action word, the best way to say I love you, God, may well be through our acts of service. I demonstrate my love for God when I serve others. All right, did you hear that? I demonstrate my love for God when I serve others. I am love in action. God, I love you. I understand that loving and accepting myself and others demonstrates my love and acceptance of you. I understand that you left nothing out when you formed me. I thank you, understanding in me, through me, around me, and through the Christ within. And so it is. I will love thee, O Lord, my strength and my trust. And that's taken from Psalms 18 and 1. And that you can take to the bank. How about that? And that's your Monday morning mindfulness meditation from Mike House. And now it's time for your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. So let us become still and quiet and simply breathe in and breathe out. You see, breathing is the whole key to this experience, because if you're not taking full enough breaths where you feel your chest expand, you feel your diaphragm expand, if you're not getting that kind of breath, then you're not going to have the experience. So it's important that you breathe deep. And I know you get tired of hearing me saying that, but that is the way to have the experience. This is an experience, okay? So we'll simply breathe in through the nose, hold it, and then exhale it. And you can say anything you want to go, like, oh, okay? Oh, release some of that tension from the body. That's what the meditation is all about. So let us begin the process just by opening up the heart chakra, opening up the mind, opening up the body. You can see I'm still yawning. And just stretch and just move. I like to turn and twist. Wake up those organs on the inside. Yeah, wake them up, wake them up, wake them up, wake them up, wake them up. All right. It's a lazy Sunday morning. It's Monday morning. I can't even remember what day it is. It's Monday morning. So, stretching. Rotating those shoulders backwards and forward, just moving, just giving the body some, let the fluids flow as we breathe in and as we blow it out. Continue to breathe in and breathe out, and we don't have to breathe together as long as you are inhaling and exhaling. And from time to time, you will hear this. And it's simply a reminder, because your mind is going to be wandering all over the place, to focus on the breath. Focus on the breath, on your chest, and your solar plexus. You're just simply breathing in and breathing out. As we give thanks for the power of the breath, we inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale, blow it out. Inhale deeply. Hold it for a few seconds and then blow it out. Continue breathing in and breathing out. As you do so, giving thanks for the power of the breath, because it is the breath that will keep you in times of chaos and confusion. As we breathe in and as we breathe out, we give thanks. You see, it is the breath that keeps us. It is the breath that empowers us as we move our heads from side to side. As we breathe in and as we breathe out. You see, breathing in relaxes the system when you take long, deep breaths. It's the short breaths that stress the system. Like when you're upset, that's how you breathe. That stresses the system, and you want to keep the system nice and calm and smooth. And that's why we breathe in. Long, deep breath and exhale. Breathe in. Hold it. Yeah, you feel that? If you breathe long, hard enough, you'll feel it. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. Hold it. And exhale. Now as we breathe in, bringing that breath to the top of the head. And as we exhale, bringing that breath down through the face and the forehead as it lands on the shoulders. As we rotate those shoulders backwards and forwards, giving thanks as we stretch, as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, sending more love and light down through the heart chakras and through the chest, through the sides. As we do the higher learning hip roll, moving from side to side, giving thanks for the power of the breath as we continue to breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out, sending love, light, and energy from the breath down through the hips and the buttocks, the back, and the thighs and the knees. Oh, yes, those glorious knees. Love those knees because they love keeping me walking. And whatever part of your body that's talking to you, talk back to it. Give it thanks. I give thanks that these wonderful knees are working so wonderfully. They keep me walking. Oh, never a day that I don't walk. As we inhale and exhale, sending more breath down through the knees and the legs and the arches, the instep, and the top and bottom of the feet and the toes. Yes, wiggle those toes as we inhale deeply. Bringing love, light, and energy from the feet back up through the toes and the arches, and the instep, and the ankles, and the legs as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, giving thanks for the power of movement. Mobility is key. Excuse me, if you are sitting in a wheelchair or lying in a bed, that does not prevent you from moving, because you can do what? You can breathe in and you can hold it and you can breathe out. Breathe in, bringing that breath back up through the legs and the hips and the thighs and the back as we continue with the higher learning hip roll, giving thanks that we are always at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. As we continue to breathe in, bringing that breath back up through the solar plexus and into the chest and into the arms as we bring them out and we stretch and we twist. Excuse me, and we give thanks for the power of movement as we breathe in, bringing more love, light, and energy back up through the solar plexus, through the shoulders, through the neck, as we take these two fingers and this thumb and just squeeze the back of that neck, giving some love to that vagus nerve as it moves up and down your body. And if you have any tension, take these fingers and knead the back of your shoulders, because that's where I hold all my stress. In the back of my neck, just move it around as we continue to breathe in. And we continue to breathe out. Just that breathing spirit experience alone, you should be feeling very well right about now. That's why we breathe in. And why we breathe out. And just sit with this breath in the moment, giving thanks that we have control over the power of our breath, because someone somewhere has a trachea in their throat. They have respiratory issues. They're on ventilators. They have inhalers or tubes in it. Any kind of respiratory issue, you give thanks that you are one of the ones who can breathe on your own. Look at you, just breathing all in and out as you continue to give thanks for the power of the breath. And exhale. Feels good, doesn't it? So let's take one long, last deep inhale deeply. And as we exhale, bring your head to your chin to your chest and slowly rotate that head to the left and around to the back. Slowly, slowly. I want you to feel that stretch in the neck and slowly bring it back around to the front. Head up. Inhale deeply. And bring your head down Chin to chest. Slowly rotate that head to the right. Slowly feel that stretch in the neck. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. And bring it back around. Head up. Inhale deeply. Look to the left as far as you possibly can, feeling a stretch in the right side of the neck. Exhale. Inhale. Turn that head to the right as far as you possibly can, feeling a stretch in the left side of the neck. Yeah, that feels good. Exhale and bring the head back around. Inhale once more. And exhale. Giving thanks for the power of the breath. We are always at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. And that is something you can practice on your own. Doesn't take long. You can do it in 60 seconds. But give yourself the gift of time and the gift of breath. And continue to breathe in and to breathe out. And remember, when someone comes to attack you physically, mentally, or emotionally, and you are unprepared, you simply breathe in and you simply breathe out. And if you got a little funk on your breath, forgot to brush your teeth, something like that, blow it. When they come up to you, just breathe in and go here. Blow it in their face. And if you got a little funk on your breath, I promise you they will back up off you. Okay? So that is your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And I hope you enjoy that Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And I hope you will share that with someone, because we are all experiencing chaos and confusion. And we have to take the time to arm ourselves before we can do that. Okay? So I just want to share that with you. It is 7:30, and it is time for our guest to arrive. And it looks like he is having some issues with his audio. Not his audio, his video. So we're going to take our first commercial break, and hopefully he can get that together. Marcus, if you are listening, and I know you are, you need to turn on your camera. Okie dokie. And while he is doing that, we're going to take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back as I tell you about the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest coming up this Saturday.
Hey there, talented teens. Are you ready to showcase your skills and potentially win cash prizes and scholarships? We're excited to announce our Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest, where you can enter by submitting a 1-minute video of your unique talent. Here's how to participate. 1. Record a 1-minute video of yourself performing your talent. 2. Share the video on TikTok. Include the hashtag Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest. 3. Tag 3 friends who also have amazing talents. Submit your video by the deadline. We can't wait to see all of the amazing talents that you have to offer. Remember to be creative and have fun with it. The top talents will be selected by a panel of judges and will be announced shortly after. So don't wait, start filming, and good luck.
Start filming and good luck.
Love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
You talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, letting me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah.
Get your head right. That's what we do here on a Monday morning mindfulness. Thank you so much for joining us back here. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks. Welcome to the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. And this is my very special guest today, Marcos Gray. Welcome to the show this morning. Grand Rising.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
And for those who don't know a little bit about you, I'm going to read from the back of your book. This is the most fascinating story I have read in a very long time. The print is a little small for my eyes, but I'm gonna wing it here, okay? You get a little older, that print needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay. Marcus Gray's Lost Innocent, the life of a juvenile lifer. Lord have mercy. Just that sentence alone is enough to make your head go, ooh, okay. All right. In Lost Innocence, the life of a juvenile lifer, Marcos Gray chronicles the factors and events that surround his circumstances now, nearly 30 years into a life sentence that was handed down to him when he was 16 years old. Do you hear me? 16. Gray shares these experiences in an unvarnished, introspective manner. At times, we are confronted by the urgency of a headstrong, defiant teenager who is frustrated by the lack of options for a bright future. Aren't we all? As other times we meet the child in him, the Marcos who was loved and indulged by his grandmother, the Marcos who was reveled and rejected by his father, and the Marcos who often drifted alone among a large and chaotic family. Throughout the book, we encounter a smart, promising young man who is aware of the institutional and political constraints on the lives of young Black men just like him, as he is destructive. Let me get that right. As he is of the destructive constraints he imposes on himself. We get to know a man who is hesitant to hope, defies love, frequently invites physical and emotional death, yet steadfastly refuses to give up. There's so much more here, but I want the readers to experience you and the experience that you had as a 16-year-old. Does that bring up a certain type of feeling for you hearing this talking about you? I get.
Yes. I've read the back of the book a million times, but it's one thing to hear it being spoken by somebody else. Knowing that when I was creating that book, I was still on the inside of prison, being told that I would die there.
They told you that you would die there. And look at you. You didn't listen to them. You
hard-headed.
Hard-headed. Well, that's one time the hard-headed took it. Hard-headed took over, and that's a good thing. And I am so glad that you are not hiding behind those tears, because it is power for a man to release tears. You know, society tells us it's just the opposite. You're weak. That is so true. You are human, and you are having a human experience, and sharing your emotions as part of that experience. So thank you for sharing that with our audience this morning. Now,
you're welcome.
Made you want to share this experience? Because at that age, you don't have a whole lot of, you have a little knowledge, but you don't have a lot of wisdom. How was it this all came about? Well, I know from the experience, but.
Well, the main reason and the impetus for me wanting to share my story was because as I was residing on the insides of that cemented coffin, I figured that the story that was being espoused against me was harsh and critical and negative and one-sided, so that if I did, God forbid, die there, I wanted the other side of that story to be told, because we've all heard that there are two sides to every story. My life didn't occur in a vacuum. I wasn't born criminal. I wasn't born evil, despite, societal implications, as this is exactly what I was born as. So I just wanted my story out there so that they can have the full gambit of everything that entailed my life.
So, in other words, if the story had to be told, it needed to be told by you.
Absolutely.
Not by any other authority other than you. I want to dig right into the book. No, I mean, I should let you, but I mean, it's just so fascinating. I can't help it. But I want you to share with us the extenuating circumstances that that sent you in the direction that you went.
Are you talking about like my pre-incarceration? Like
Yes.
Yes. Well, I was a good kid and maybe a mama's boy up until high school. And once I went into high school, I saw how grown up it was, that I had to eventually grow up. And in the environment in which I was raised in, growing up looks like mimicking the criminals or the criminality that was around me. So it was like almost a paradigmatic shift overnight. Like, okay, I can no longer enjoy childhood. I have to grow up.
So it was high school that took the turn in the other direction. And as I think about that, I think about how when I was in high school decades ago, that starting high school was like a sense of freedom. And for you, maybe not so much.
I mean, I guess it offered more of a freedom to indulge in depravity and criminality because that was the common theme around there.
Okay. And exactly where did you grow up?
Chicago, South Side.
On the South Side.
Yeah.
How far?
Washington Heights. 99th and Green, Halsted.
Okay. I never knew that was called Washington Heights. Get out of here. I grew up in the city of Chicago. Are you serious?
Yes. Yes. It's so close to Auburn, Gresham, and Roseland that sometimes it just get, encompassed within those descriptors,
Okay. Well, at that time, you did not know of, or I don't even think was because Diane Latiker is in that area, 119th, 15th, 16th, 17th in what is it? Michigan. We're in the Roseland area.
Yes.
She has a program called Kids Off the Block. Been had it forever. I'm sure you're aware of it.
Well, I was aware of that after the fact. After my incarceration, I started seeing her on the news doing these things with the kids. So, yeah, I seen that. That was amazing.
You saw that as a kid, or
no? I saw her doing. No, I saw these things of her doing these things with the children when I was incarcerated. Because I don't think she started it when I went in. I left in 1993, so she didn't have it up and running as far as I know.
Right, but you do know that she was in that.
Yes.
Yeah, in that capacity, still helping children. And what do you think? Well, you just told us the high school experience and what you saw in your community is what led you in the direction that you went. Did you ever think twice about any of the things that you did?
Initially, yes. But the more we acclimate ourselves to doing certain things, it becomes normalized, so it's no longer a thought. Because I had 4 older brothers, 2 of them were in the streets and 2 of them were educated, and they were all telling me that I had the potential to be something other than what our environment was telling me that I should be. But it's hard to listen to individuals who are in the streets telling me not to be in the streets, and it's hard to listen to individuals who are not in the streets telling me what it's like to be in the streets. So it was much easier for me to discard them and listen to my gang brothers, for lack of a better term.
Okay. And and when you say gang brothers, that's pretty much what it is. It's a family. They call it gangs, but it's a family. It's an extended family, because what you're not getting at home in the environment, you may feel that your family in the street can, and that's how they approach you, and that's what it's family. It's just another extension of the family. Now, what do you say to the young people who may be watching this and headed in the right direction? So what is it that you can say to them that wasn't said to you to steer you in another direction, that should have steered you in another direction?
I honestly don't believe that there are enough words in creation that will alter somebody's behavior. However, had I been given opportunities to do other things with my time instead of indulging in the streets, that would have been something that would have helped me to not go in that direction. Because I often, like when I was going back to the Cook County Jail during the resentence, and I was talking to the younger brothers, and they were receptive because they were seeing what it is that their future could potentially look like. That the system had no issue with locking up a 14 or 16-year-old and telling him to die there if it so chose. But I think that these communities, they need more resources. And what I mean resources, I'm not necessarily talking about the monetary aspect, but like academic aspects and things that is going to help them go better or grow better within their sphere of life. Because not everyone is meant for college. Show individuals trades. Give them something of substance that they can do with their time so that they can not find their potential after 29 years in prison. They need things. They don't want, they have enough words. They hear everybody talking and telling them what they should and should not do. They need to be given something to do, in my humble opinion.
Yes, and I agree with you. It's the fact, and see, it's all systemic. The fact that they have taken trades out of the school because they want you to get in trouble so that you can wind up in jail, so you can be a part of the, what do they call it? The
school to prison pipeline. Pipeline, absolutely.
Yeah. So that they can keep you in a place that you don't want to be there and longer than you want to be there or need to be there. So it's like it is. So, jail is the new slave population.
Correct.
Because they're in there making products for the corporations at what, 10 cents a day or something like that.
Well, I mean, in the prison that we were in, we got $1.43 a day, but
a whole $1.43. Now, if
the items continually increase in prices, so you're only going to be able to buy cosmetics with your little pay if you don't have family looking out for you.
And they know that.
Absolutely.
and they limit you in all kinds of ways. So you know you can't purchase the things that you need, even though they should be supplying them to you, because we as taxpayers, we're paying for you to
Correct.
be there. So why are you not supplying them with basic hygiene, soap and deodorant and lotion or hair,
Correct.
whatever? So yeah, we understand the prison complex is in full force, and it is until we, the community, demand something different, nothing will change.
Correct.
So how do you, from having all of the types of experiences that you've had, how do you suggest that we reach our young men and women, because the women population is growing too. It's catching right up there with the men.
It is. It is. I think the only way in which individuals, the young men in our communities, are going to take heed to some of the things that has to be spoken is if individuals who have that experiential knowledge are able to have access to them on a consistent basis. Because you can't have any dialogue with someone if you're a stranger. The things that you say to them won't mean anything, but if you have a continual dialogue with them, then your words may begin to have more validity and more credence, so that you can be in a better position to, for lack of a better term, influence some of their decisions. Or if they ask you what should they do or not do, the more or the deeper you know a person, the greater chance you have of them being receptive to the things that you're speaking to them.
Do you have that experience with any youth in your community now?
I am on the north side now on campus, so I have minimal interaction with individuals from my area.
Oh, okay. So are there no teens or not?
I mean, I stated this campus, this is an entirely different dynamic. So these are individuals coming from middle class and upper classes echelons of society. So they don't have the same experiential basis that I have as, say, when I go to one of my assignments or, and speak to the individuals in the neighborhood,
Oh, okay. Well, that does make a difference. When you were incarcerated, did you ever think, I'm sure you did think, that you would get out, because you didn't give up hope, because you're sitting here in front of me, so we know you didn't give up hope. But did that thought ever occur to you?
I never doubted that I would be released, but I always wondered what would be left of me when I got out.
Oh.
Because there's a movie with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence called Life. And as funny as it was, if you look and see exactly what they did to those two black men.
Yeah.
It hurt. And I was like, will that be me when I get out?
Ooh.
So I never doubted it, but I just wondered what would be left of me once I got out.
So did that, what did that do to you in terms of you preparing yourself mentally?
Well, even with that fear in the back of my mind, I mean, as individuals, if they read the book, they will see that I fought every step of the way for those 29 years. I could not fight. I took some of the brazenness that I had as a child in the streets and used that and implemented things like filing my legal petitions, because I can lose a fight, but I will not fight. So I had no choice. There was no choice but to fight every step of the way to make sure that I would receive the thing that I wanted. And by no means do I make it seem as if I am great. God most certainly blessed me and allowed me to have the wherewithal to know what it is that I needed to do. But I put my mind and my hands to work.
So you never gave up hope?
I couldn't. No, I couldn't.
Were there times where you felt like giving up?
Oh my God, yes. Prior to my imprisonment, there were times when I felt like giving up. I mean, just to be honest with you, depression and suicidality had afflicted me before I even went into the streets. I mean, I detailed that in the book, so it's like I can't hide it. I mean, these components of my character were always there, and incarceration made it worse.
Mm.
But that thought, I could not do this to moms. I would not do this to moms.
So it was the thought of bringing harm to the family, especially your mother.
Yes.
Is your mother still living today?
Yes, thank God. 78 and wonderful in my heart. Yes.
What's her name?
Arlene.
Arlene?
Yes.
Arlene Gray?
Yes.
We want to commend you, my sister, for giving birth to this genius known as Marcus Gray, because he has taken the time to chronicle his behavior and that of others to help the next generation. So I commend you, Miss Arlene Gray, for the work that you have done with this young man, because it is simply phenomenal. As Dr. Maya Angelou would say, you are a phenomenal young man, because you could have got out and went back and did the same thing that you did to get you in there, because it happens over and over and over again, and you are living proof that it does not have to continue. You stop the generational curse in your family. How does that feel?
I don't even know how to process that. I mean, there has been a lot of trauma and traumatic events in our family, but as it pertains to the judicial system, I was the only one caught up in it. But the duration of time that I was caught up in it, it was enough for all of us. So moms did a phenomenal job with 10 children and barely no help.
Did you say 10 children?
Yes.
Miss Arlene, girl, my hat's off to you this morning. Are you serious?
5 boys and 5 girls.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
They don't even have them like that anymore.
No.
I have an aunt who, she's not an aunt, she's a cousin, but she's in the family. She had 21 children, 2 of them passed. So this was back in the 40s and 50s, honey.
Wow.
That nobody does that anymore. So I commend Miss Arlene, because women have been doing what they've been doing since the beginning of time. So kudos.
Absolutely.
And all the mothers out there, single mothers who are raising young men with very little input or direction from the men, the community of men around them. I salute you, because you've done the work. You're continuing to do the work. Wow, that's a phenomenal story all on its own. I wish we could have had Miss Arlene on here. Now, there was a lady here earlier. It says guest. Did you send that link to someone else?
I sent the link. I thought I was sending the link to so many different people. I don't know. This technology still kind of.
Okay, well, don't worry, baby. You are not alone on that. I'm with you on that. So I'm learning every single day. StreamYard has taught me a lot. Some that I didn't want to learn, but I had to learn it anyway. Anyway, that link was for you, and I don't know who this lady is.
That's a friend of mine. She's mentioned in the book. She's in one of the chapters. But that's another
wonderful.
Story. Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I want you to call her and let her know to come back.
Okay.
Because I didn't know who she was. I saw the face, and it's like, I don't know. Is this, I don't know how she got the link. I don't know who she is. So I can't bring her up until I know who she is. So if you would be so kind to send her the text and let her know that she can come back. But before we do that, I just want to read just a paragraph on page 67, talk about the Lost Boys. That sticks out to me because there's a generation of young men who are here from the motherland, and I believe they were from, was it Sudan?
The boy soldiers.
I'm sorry?
I said the boy soldiers.
Yeah, the boy soldiers. So when I saw the Lost Boys, I was like, ooh, okay, let me take a look at that. So I just want to share a quick a paragraph from that. It says, I hadn't been on the tier for full 3 days before I endured my first riot. Now, explain to us what a tier is.
It's the place that you go on in the county jail or even sometimes prison. and the context of that story, on my 17th birthday, I was removed from the juvenile facility and placed in the adult county jail.
At 17?
Yes, they no longer do that, but on my 17th birthday, that was my gift. They no longer do that, but on my 17th birthday, I was put in the adult county jail.
Oh my goodness. Why do you think it is they do that? Is it a scare tactic? Or they want you to grow up?
I think it's a they don't care tactic.
Oh, okay.
Because from the moment that individuals of African descent as Black men can walk, we're a threat.
Yes.
So they figure whatever happened to you, it happens. I literally...
Take your time. Take a deep breath. That's what we do here. We just breathe in and we breathe out. Come on, breathe with me. I need you to breathe with me. That's all I need you to do is breathe. I don't need you to think. I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to breathe. Let's breathe in together. Breathe in. Inhale through your nose deeply. This is what we do to calm ourselves down when the mind is racing and we feel a little overwhelmed. We simply breathe. We're just inhaling and exhaling. And for those of you who are watching, when you are in a...
No, I was getting ready to say, I remember literally when I was being transferred to the Cook County Jail, when inside of it, a guard was making fun of the fact that he hoped I was raped in there.
Wow, this is what a guard said to you. Yeah, I get that. I get that. And we must remember that misery loves company. And the fact that he said that shows you that he was miserable. So he was miserable and he wanted everybody around him to be miserable. And being a guard gave him a sense of superiority. My sister retired from Cook County Department of Corrections, and the horror stories that she would tell me, I was so glad that she was retired because it made a different person out of her. My sister never swore. When she started working at the county, she started cussing like a sailor. And I'm saying to myself, crazy. Girl, you ain't never cursed a day in your life and you cussing left and right. So I said that to say this. Being in an institution like that, it makes you institutionalized. It doesn't matter if you're living there as a prisoner or if you are working there as a worker. It does something to you mentally, and you are taught because, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 years ago, through her, I had a chance to speak to the Cook County Department of Corrections in Maywood, I think it was. And I spoke to the officers who lock up prisoners, for lack of a better word. And their main objective is just what that guard told you, hope you get raped, because they were all so very insensitive. And during the break, we have little breakout sections and we'd be talking about things, and they were like, Miss Zelda, you just don't get it. These are animals. And I'm saying to them, no, these are not animals. These are children from the highest, and you have to pay respect to them. I don't care if they are locked up. You still have to treat them as human beings. They just looked at me and laughed. So I said, yeah, they did.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking to myself, what happened to humanity? What happens when you get into an institution that is designed to take away your humanity? How do you handle that?
You do everything within your power. Strike that. You ask God and hope that he grants you the strength so that you can maintain it and do everything within your power, because there has always been a Bible verse that has resonated with me, that Genesis 50:20. Say, the evil men meant for me, God meant it for good. This is what Joseph said, as it pertains to his brother selling him off into slavery. So I was like, whatever it is that the system had done to me, and even myself being a part of some of the things that happened to me, it was meant for me to be better than that situation. Yeah. I couldn't let that type of a comment or that environment stop me from transcending what I once was. I had to continue to.
Say that. Transcending to what you once was and always is and always will be. It is 8:04. I'm a little bit behind schedule in our commercials, but when we come back, we're going to see if you can get that young lady back on the phone and contact her, and we'll take a quick commercial break, and we will be right.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, letting me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network. Got your head right.
Attention all talented teens ages 13 to 19. Are you ready to show the world what you've got? We're excited to announce the latest global virtual teen talent contest, where you win cash prizes and scholarships by performing your unique talent. Here's how to participate. 1. Record a 1-minute video of yourself performing your talent. 2. Upload the video, link in description or comments. 3. Submit your video by the deadline. We're looking for a wide range of talents, from singing and dancing to magic tricks and comedy skits. So whether you're a musician, an actor, or a chef, we want to see your unique talent. The top talents will be selected by a panel of judges and will be announced shortly after. So don't wait, start filming, and good luck.
And good luck. It is what you will need. And when you are auditioning for the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest, which is every last Saturday of the month, here on the Female Solution and the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. And she just came in and got lost again. Send her. I don't know. She just pops in and pops out. What's her name?
Janika.
Janika, girl, you need to come back. I had you. I don't know where you disappeared to. Excuse me. Yeah, she popped in and popped out. But before we went to a commercial break, hopefully she'll come back and join us. Wow, that is just oh, there she is. I'm about to read, and there she is. And I want you to spell her name for me so I don't get it wrong.
Janieka. Janieka.
Janika.
Hi.
How you doing, girl?
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. Now that I have you here, so glad to see your face, because when I first saw you pop in, I was like, who is this?
I cut my camera off because I didn't want to take away from what you guys got going on. I just wanted you to know I was there.
Oh, okay, Miss Janika. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We can see that you're out and about this morning. You headed somewhere. So tell us.
I'm taking my daughter to the dentist.
Oh, okay. What's your daughter's name?
Her name's Sylvetta.
What's her name?
Sylvetta Rose.
I can hear.
Her name is Sylvetta Rose.
Sylvetta Rose. Hi, Miss Sylvetta Rose. Hey, girl. We're going to have you on the Teen Talent Contest because I know you got some kind of talent. You going to the dentist to get them teeth done so she can smile pretty when she does her audition. So bless you, my sister, and your daughter for joining us this morning. So tell us how this came. How did this connection come about, Marcus?
Wow. This is my girlfriend when I was locked up. Before I got locked up, she's in the book.
Oh wow! And what page is she on?
I don't know what page, but heck, I mean,
she in there somewhere.
Yeah,
it's like 40. It's like 47, 46.
47.
It's a chapter that says to
yeah.
She's so funny.
Okay, yeah, I see Tanika here on page 47. Okay, I didn't know that she was the jealous type, and it was so cute to me. I would intentionally flirt with other girls in her presence to evoke a reaction. Without fail, she crossed her arms, pout, and then turn off in a fit. But I found it cute. Oh, I'm bringing back some memories, Anna.
Yes, you are.
Oh,
you are silly.
Well, y'all can. I don't want to read you everything. Y'all can read page 47 on your own, okay? But wow, what did it feel like to hear that the first time, Janika?
It was so sweet. It was. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. It was special.
Special how?
Well, that he cared enough to still remember everything about us and that we went through. No, I loved him a long time.
Oh wow. A lifelong love. How powerful is that? And loved you all through the time that you were in there until you got out.
Can I say something?
Please do.
She had some kind of app that would let her know if or when I got out.
Really?
Yes.
There's an app for that?
It's called Vine.
It's called what?
Vine. And it'll just give you an alert if ever a person, even if it says that they won't get out, but if ever anything changes with their circumstances or situation, then you'll get an alert. So I knew when he got out.
It's called FIND?
VIN. Eat, as in,
vine.
yeah, tree
Wow.
vine. Good job.
Never heard of that before.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I love this show, because I always I never heard of such a thing. And I have family members that are incarcerated. I never knew anything.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's just a way to always keep information, know where they are, and just know what's active, their status, basically.
So would you know their status while they are in the institution too?
Well, yeah, you would know if they were still there, and if they had a release date, it would tell you.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Marcus,
you about to disappear. You need to bring yourself back in.
No, because it's like that's just so amazing, because for so many years it basically said never,
It did.
never getting out, never getting out. It's like
that's what the app said, never. Oh my goodness. Wow. And how did you feel when you Janika?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you saw the app that and what did the app say when he was about to be released? Now, I know this might be a little emotional, so if you need to pull over for a minute, because I don't want you having no accidents while you're going down memory lane.
It was just disbelief. It was disbelief. Because over the years, yeah, I had kept in touch with a couple of people, and I had heard that it was a chance he'd get out, like the past 5 years maybe, but I just couldn't believe it till I see it for myself.
So the first time that you got noticed that he may be getting out, what did that do to you mentally, physically, and emotionally? And that he didn't, that he could or might be getting out, but he didn't get out. What did that do to you inside?
I was so happy inside. Of course, I could only be happy that, he had to go through 30 years of sitting in someone's prison, but I felt so happy. I was scared a little bit to see him. I don't know. It's just a million things I felt, but mostly just, it was surreal. It still is. Because I couldn't prepare myself to think that I ever have an opportunity to ever look him in his eyes again in the real world. So it was just a lot. It's a lot. It's crazy.
Wow.
I don't know. It's like a movie. That's the person in the movie with no control of it.
What was your biggest challenge, Janika, while he was incarcerated?
What was my biggest challenge?
Yes, ma'am.
Pertaining to him?
The whole experience.
It was just such a major loss. I feel like my life would have been different. His life could have possibly been different. They just took everything from me at that time. And I was young. But, as we can still see, I still love them so much. So I feel like they just took a lot. It took a lot from both of our lives. And I'm just grateful that God gave him opportunity to get to the rest of his life, and that I'm here.
What was it? Where did you go inside of yourself to help you maintain your power to help keep him empowered?
Wait, repeat that.
What did you do? What was it inside of you that helped you maintain your sanity so that you could help him while he was incarcerated?
I mean, I really couldn't maintain my sanity. I had the easiest life, I wouldn't say, but you just have to stay strong no matter what. You have to just face life, and you have to deal with it as it comes and keep on going. And I always hope that if he did ever get free again, that I would be here and be able to be there for him in any way that I can.
How did you two communicate, Marcus?
I'm sorry?
How did you two communicate?
Initially, like during the initial phase of incarceration, Mel and she would come to visitation, but once I was released, then we start FaceTime and stuff like that. Just, you know, to reestablish something that it wasn't severed. It was just put on hiatus. It was put on a hiatus or in stasis, just like postponed. You can't forget stuff like or people like that.
Jamaica, I want to ask you a question. What would you say to the women that you know now who are experiencing the same thing? Because I know we all know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who has a family member that's incarcerated. What do you say to the woman who's watching this show who is experiencing the same thing right now, or about to, or has experienced it? What would you say to them?
What would I say to them? Not to give up hope. Just to try to be as supportive as you can. Not to let outside people get in their head. And if that person, you know,
not to let people get in your head, because people will sure be all up in your business and don't know.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Gotta just really know the person before that, though, to an extent, so you would know what type of person you're dealing with. And if that person was worth your time, then yeah, don't give up.
So you knew what was in his heart, despite what was being said and done.
Definitely.
You knew in your heart of hearts that this was the kind of human being that you had to stick by in order to remain faithful not only to him but to yourself.
Yeah, and I always knew that he didn't do everything that they said he did. Like, so for me, I just knew. I mean, I'm not saying he's a totally innocent person. We all have stuff we've done, but he didn't deserve that level of what they did to him. So I never looked at him the way everybody or whoever else would have. I had my own perceptions of him. You know, I kept that with me. So I don't know. It's just real. It's complicated.
It's complicated. Life is full of complications,
right? And you ask the real questions, huh?
You know, this is a real show. We ain't no bougie here, ain't no make believe, none of that. We here to lay it down in the raw.
That's right.
However y'all say it.
Yeah.
or keeping it real, or 100, or whatever you say. You know, ain't no fluff here. We gonna tell it like a TI is.
Okay.
No fluff. No fluff. Because we are given enough fluff in society all day, every day. They keep us in this matrix, so to speak. Everything we see, everything we do, everything we hear. I mean, we have been so programmed from birth. Oh, I love your hair, my sister. I didn't see all of that, girl. All right, now I'm getting the full do this morning. Yes. Yes, girl, turn it around so we can see all of that. Oh,
you're so funny.
Sister was hiding them locks this morning. You know I'm a lock girl. I know you can't see it here this morning, but it's wrapped this morning. But I'm loving them like yes, and now she's outside in the sun. Yes, girl. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm sorry. I digress, Marcos. I do.
I'm good.
You're so sweet.
No, because I am of the generation where I broke the curse of hair. My mother was a beautician, so it was taboo not to get your hair done.
Okay.
Because we had to have our hair pressed every 2 weeks. Wasn't good. My stuff needed to be pressed every day because my hair wasn't holding no kind of hair.
I hated that.
None of that.
Yeah.
So the limits that are imposed upon us by society will keep us in a place we don't want to be longer than we want to be there. So I commend you and for stepping out of the natural hair norm and sharing that with your daughters, because your daughter's going to do what she see you do.
Yeah, you see
Hopefully.
her.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love being Black. So I live in Iowa right now. So I
Oh,
definitely
do
like to
you?
represent my culture.
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if you represent. Well, it does matter. But quiet as it's kept, they want all of this and then some. The lips, the
Yeah,
nose, the
they do.
head, the back, the butt, the everything. The fact that you are displaying it, kudos to you and your daughter. Yes, ma'am. Because we have to keep
Thank
it
you so much.
No. Thank you for being
Yeah.
you. Thank you for listening to the still small voice that tells you how you need to wear your crown, because it is a crown. Okay, and
Thank you.
you got me over here bopping like these little. Oh Lord, Tequila, is that you? That's my niece. Yeah.
Your hair is beautiful.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you. I appreciate it. But what is even more beautiful is the connection that we have here this morning from helping someone else who is going through this challenge, and to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes that light comes out as a book, because I cannot tell you how many times it has been said that if it ain't written, it don't exist.
Right.
So you got to tell your story. So thank you for being a part of Marcus's story and for sharing this information, because
It's my pleasure.
it's us who got to break those generational curses. And both of you are breaking those curses, not only with the hair, but with the mindset.
Okay.
And this is the kind of mindset that can help that little girl that's sitting next to you, because she's going to be dealing with a teenager someday who's like Marcus, who wasn't steered in the right direction, who got off course. But Marcus, it was really, it was a blessing in disguise, because this is going to take you places that you've never been, and that you will continue to grow and develop and help some, because there's a little boy watching you. There's a lot of little boys watching you, whether you know it or not. There's some little girls watching you. I digress, but I got to finish this sentence, this paragraph. Okay, I'd allow her about 5 minutes, and then I'd follow and try to assuage her anger. Assuage her anger. Okay, assuage her anger. Now, for those of who don't know, what does that mean? Assuage her anger.
To calm down or mitigate it or minimize it or to help her decompress.
Okay, see, it's English 101 right here on Female Solution. But as cute as I found it initially, it had become a nuisance within a few short months. I often ask myself why I put up with it. But when you have a 14-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy, clearly the relationship wasn't going to be a picture of maturity despite the sexual interactions.
Yes.
I'm going to read it. You all
I'm sorry. I didn't see this.
You all can finish that on page 47. I can't tell you everything, but babe, oh, really now? Oh,
Stop it. I'm so glad my daughter.
The names have been changed to protection. Okay, that's page 47, y'all. I didn't say it, he wrote it, but you can go back and finish and reading it on your own. I can't tell you everything in the book.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. This is the type of information that will help this next generation of young people see that there are possibilities that they don't know about, that can help get them where they want to be. And you two are a shining example of that. So thank you for being as transparent as you are, and for sharing what it is that you have experienced in this journey of incarceration. Because when you are incarcerated, the whole family's incarcerated. It's just not a one person thing. The whole family. So how do families connect and stay and help with this process? What do we do when we lose our innocence?
That is $1 million question, but there are so many components to it, and it's not necessarily or not only a financial assistance that you are being a recipient of from your family, but that encouragement, that support, that letting them know that they see your humanity, because incarceration, it dehumanizes you. But when you have family and friends and things of that nature constantly instilling within you that you are a human, this gives you the hope that they try to snuff out. This is why they make it so difficult for our family members to come inside of those spaces. And when they come in there, they treat them as if they were quote unquote criminals, so that this experience will be so unpleasant that they no longer want to come visit you, and therefore they can continue to dehumanize you and call you the quote unquote animal, because animals don't have people fighting for them like humans do. So when they try to treat your family cruelly so that they won't come in, then they're justified in their minds with treating you cruelly. Like, okay, they don't have anybody that care about them. We can do whatever we want to them.
Okay. I didn't think about it like that.
That's exactly how they think about it.
That is inhumane.
It is.
That is not the way to treat human beings. How do you move beyond that?
It is, even if we can't change the hurts from our past, we got to try to find a way to navigate through them, because it's a part of our life now. The things that we did in the past are even more part of our life than where we're actually doing it, because they're memories, they're experiences. So now we have to learn from those experiences. And learning from those experiences means not allowing somebody to place something onto you that you don't want or that you don't feel you deserve. People can try to define you, but that doesn't mean you are a depiction of the definition that they place upon you. Because there was something on the internet called The Monsters Among Us, and it had me next to John Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff like that.
Are you serious?
Monsters Among Us. I'm next to these individuals. So a Caucasian has to kill and eat people to be considered a monster, but I just had to be a young 16-year-old incarcerated, and that gave me monster status. That broke my heart. I was like, wow, really?
Wow.
You can't make this up. We know what it is. We know what it is.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is so disheartening. Some comments. If you'd like to comment wherever you're calling or watching from, we'd love to get your comment. Deborah Smith, our third Saturday host here on the Female Solution, says saving lives. Thank you. Yes, and thank you, Deborah, because you telling your story and not giving up is the type of energy that we need in order to move forward. Because, we have a tendency not to share and keeping things to ourselves. It's like Black folks, we don't talk about that. Well, you need to talk about it.
Right.
That's why we're where we are now. You need to talk about it. And that's why we're talking about it. And what are we talking about? If you just joined the conversation this morning, my guest here, author Marcos Gray, author of Lost Innocence, The Life of a Juvenile Lifer. And as you can see, I pulled up on the screen. This is a copy of the book. I have my own copy. You can get your own because you can't have mine. This is the book. When I met this brother, I forgot to tell you how I met this young man. There is a monthly networking meeting called the West Side Ministers Coalition every first Thursday of the month. And this young man was standing in the back, and I don't know what I was doing, but we started talking because that's what I do. I run off at the mouth. And my husband tells me I have diarrhea in the mouth. I said, but
he's wrong for that.
It's good for a talk show, so get over it. So when I found out he was an author, a long story short, I had to have the book. And then when he came to the podium and introduced himself and told about the story, I'm like, how do you give a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old a life sentence? How do you do that? That is so inhumane, but that is a reality in this date and time. So this is why we must continue this legacy of breaking those molds that have been placed on us. And I thank both of you for coming on here and sharing this information, because it is this kind of information that can help break those mental shackles. This is a must read. You talk about Oprah's book club. This is the Female Solutions book club. This is my copy, and you can get your own. It's right here. It's available on Amazon, but I like to say cut out the middleman and go straight to the real man. Because I bought my book from the real man, Marcos Gray. Marcos, for those who don't know about you and your life and your ordeal, how has this brought you closer to the loved ones who were not available for you?
I'm laughing because my initial reaction to some of my family members who weren't as supportive as I would have liked for them to have been at that time, my initial reaction was more pain than bitterness.
Ooh.
It was more pain than bitterness as it pertains to me seeing them once I was released, because there was a little voice in my head like they weren't there when you needed them, so why would you allow them to be there now that you're out here? However, I realized that the level of trauma that I went through, they were traumatized by it as well, so I'm not going to allow the system to decimate our family any further than it already did. So now I love them all and treat them all as if they were all there with me throughout that time, because we lost enough time. The system stole enough time. I'm not going to allow it to do that. I love them with all of my heart to this day. So as stated, I treat them all as if they were there with me every second of that 29-year period. I will not let the system get anything else from us.
Oh, wow. That's a revelation. Never looked at it like that. Okay. Wow. Your comments on that, Janika? What do you think about that?
I think he's a real thoughtful person, and I think that was a real mature way to look at things. It's always, like I said, a complicated situation. Like that's just a lot of time. A lot of people don't even make it past 21. So to sit in prison 30 years, like, it takes a strong person to make it out of a situation like that with their head still screwed on top. So, yeah. I just admire him more than anything. I could just say I just feel a lot of admiration for him. And it takes a big person. He's a bigger person than a lot of people. So, yeah.
Kudos. Because, brother, you've been through the ringer. You have been through it. I'm looking at some of these stories in this book, and I'm thinking to myself, how are you even here on the planet after all the chaos and confusion and turmoil and the horrific. I mean, this reads like a horror story.
It does, doesn't it?
How is it possible that you wake up and maintain your sanity? How is that possible? Because see, somebody's listening who's going through this or has a family member who's going through this. We need to hear the next very important words that you have to share. We need to know, how are you coping in the midst of all this massive inhumane treatment that was bestowed upon you, because you have issues right here, right now from this experience. So what are you doing on a daily basis to help you maintain your sanity after all this horrificness?
When an individual is placed in a position where they have these developmental traumas, and what developmental trauma is when you are deprived of the proper nourishment and things of that nature, it can affect you. And being placed in that situation at such a young age, it affected me because the perception that my biological father had towards me was sort of one of those other impetuses that allowed me to go into criminality and think that I needed to find my family out there. But as it pertains to the things that I'm dealing with out here, it is very difficult. And I've come to realize that for the rest of my life, probably, I'm going to deal with some of the things that I had to deal with in that place, just from an emotional / psychological standpoint, because I've only been out 13 months. So there's no way in which to decompress 29 years in 13 months. And
Wow.
I see a therapist every week because I know that even though they may not have the answer, they may help me find the answers that are already within me. And
Yes.
This is essentially what a good therapist. This is essentially what a good therapist is supposed to do: help you find the solutions that are already within you. And I know that they're within me, and I know that a lot of times I'm very critical of myself. But God has been watching over me for as long as I have been on this planet. As you stated, there are so many instances. There are instances not even cited in the book where I was supposed to not be on this planet. So in order for me to maintain my position on this planet, he allowed this injustice or this inhumane aspect of incarceration to take place. And then the system just did some other things on top of that. But that's neither here nor there. But I am stronger than what they try to presume me to be, and I am more of a human than they could have ever imagined me to be. And I just realized that, and I try to walk in that. By no means am I perfect. I am so flawed and damaged to the point that I'm scaring myself sometimes, and I'm still suffering from survivor's guilt from being out here, and some of my brothers are in there. So it is a lot. It is a lot to try to deal with.
And I am so very glad that you said that you are in therapy, because as a culture, we don't do therapy.
We need therapy.
That's for them other folks. We don't do therapy. Honey, if anybody needs therapy, it is us. If you came across, if your forefathers came across the transatlantic strip, you got issues in your tissues from generations ago. And there's a book called Issues in Your Tissues. Anybody listening, please get it and read it. I missed my last commercial break, and I apologize for that, Naima. So we're going to take our last break, and we'll be right back. So stay close and share this video.
Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Attention all talented teens ages 13 to 19. Are you ready to show the world what you've got? We're excited to announce the latest global virtual teen talent contest, where you win cash prizes and scholarships by performing your unique talent. Here's how to participate. 1. Record a 1-minute video of yourself performing your talent. 2. Upload the video, link in description or comments. 3. Submit your video by the deadline. We're looking for a wide range of talents, from singing and dancing to magic tricks and comedy skits. So whether you're a musician, an actor, or a chef, we want to see your unique talent. The top talents will be selected by a panel of judges and will be announced shortly after. So don't wait, start filming, and good luck.
It's the Global Virtual Teen Talent coming up on this Saturday, July 29th at 12 noon. Mark your calendars to participate. If you have teens who between 13 and 19, they can send in a 1-minute demo, a video clip of their own YouTube video clip to hlntvshow@gmail.com. You will see that information is scrolling underneath the screen there, the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest is live voting, and you can vote on our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel, Higher Learning TV Show. So get those in. This Saturday is the last day, and we want to see you there. And be sure and check out our Instagram and HLN YouTube channel. Look, I hear something. Is that somebody else got another window open? Oh, did it just go bye-bye? Okay, good. Okay, 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. Also, if you are, it is so hot and I am sweating like a stuffed pig, but I'm enjoying it because I like heat. If you are watching this broadcast and you would like to be on our mailing list of events and exclusive updates like these free zoo tickets I got to give away. It's for a family of 4. I think the tickets are like $30, and I have for a family of 4. All you have to do, can you see that Brookfield Zoo? And they don't expire until March of next year. Text Monday Morning Mindfulness to 312-383-9749, and you too can win those tickets. That's 312-383-9749, and you can win tickets to the Brookfield Zoo. Take your family of 4. And it is 8:45. We've only got a few minutes left here. There is no after show today. Naima Latif, our executive producer, is probably at the airport meeting. I believe it's our Vice President, Kamala Harris, who is having an event somewhere today. But she may call in and she may not. You never know what's going on with Secret Service. But I said all that to say this. We have to keep in contact with this young man because we are in the midst of opening up the Higher Learning Network Media Resource Center. And we want this center to be available, especially to young men. We're teaching them how to do their own podcast and a variety of things, but they need to see male mentorship. And while I would love to have you and Jamaica come and talk to them at some point in time. We're in the process of getting the building now. So when that is up and running, we're definitely going to have you come out and speak to the children. But in the meantime, in between time, we need contact information that you want to share with others before we run out of time here. So how can people contact you, Marcus?
My email address, you have it, you can give it. I mean,
okay, just so I can spell it out right now. What is it?
Marcos, Marcos, C as in Christopher, Gray, Gray, 2022 at gmail.com.
Now, I want to be sure I got this right, because I'm going to put it here on the screen. Excuse me. And that is Marcos C.
It's 2022, not 33.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Let me go back here. The computer's a little slow. So that's Marcos C. Gray 20. Say it again, Marcos.
It's 22, not 33.
Oh, 22.
Yes.
Marcos C. Gray 22 at gmail.com.
2022.
Right. I got it. The computer's just slow. I need to clean off my desk. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Okay, you want to come up now and show the man that I've done what I said I did? I'm talking to the computer now.
I figured you were.
Okay, come on, Marcos Gray. Marcos C. Gray 2022 at gmail.com. Okay, while it's coming up.
That is correct.
There you go. So people can contact you and they can get a copy of this book. What do you tell somebody who's watching this who has a family member locked up or that is going through this on their own?
Wow. To someone who has a family member that is locked up, I would encourage them to be as supportive as they can be to that individual, even if that individual did not behave the best way that they could have prior to their imprisonment. Because my family, I wasn't I wasn't cruel to them, but I was dismissive of what they were trying to tell me because they were telling me things that I needed to hear, but I didn't want to hear. And so I understand that aspect. But there's also the individual that may be going through this. Let he or she know that whatever they're going through, they have within them the capability to overcome it. It may not be easy, but it's worthwhile. It may not be easy, but it's worthwhile because there is always something we have to give up in order to obtain things that we want. Sacrifices must be made for a worthy cause is a saying that we've heard many times before. So sometimes some things or people may need to be sacrificed in order for us to get somewhere in our life that we would not have gotten otherwise.
Say that. Say that. And I see Jamaica. I saw your head go up. You want to add that to that, sis?
No, I just agree with that. In life, you do have to cut off some people, some things to get what you want. And yes, things that are worth having usually not easy to get to. So I just agree with him. That's all. I want to make this about me.
Okay. In a way, it's kind of like a love story. I like it. I like it. I like to see when people come together, despite the enormous, horrific incidences that take place in their life, but they come out on the other side, shining, and still in therapy and consistently doing the work that needs to be done. I sent you a list of books, Marcos, and I'm so glad that you decided to take me up on that offer. I'm going to get those books to you some kind of way this week. And also the fact that you mentioned that you are no longer on the side of town where all that chaos and confusion that led to your incarceration, you're no longer there. How important is that one remove themselves from their environment if they are to progress in another direction? Because it's hard to do good when you're in a situation where you don't see any good being taking place.
I think that is extremely important. However, there are individuals that are able to navigate those spaces without finding themselves involved in criminality. However, if you were an individual who was involved with it and that stuff is easy, and you're in an environment where it makes you feel like that's all you have going for you, then you're going to be much more susceptible to being somebody who recidivates, going back into prison because you went back to the same neighborhood, and being in the same neighborhood sometimes brings along with it the same mindset that you had prior to you being incarcerated to begin with. It's like trauma. You can't necessarily overcome trauma if you're still going through the process of these traumatic events. You have to be removed from it first, then so you can start on the work.
Yes. You have to remove yourself from the environment if you are going to do something different, because if what you see every day, that's what you have a tendency to do, it's not going to help you. So I have this blog up here as a reminder. After the show, I always post resources and comments for those who may have not been able to see the entire show. So if you go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, you'll see a ton of information. You'll see information on Marco's book. You can get his book. You can contact him. You will see lots of other information there. There's an event coming up this week. Another science fiction author. What is her name? Okima 7. That's taking place on there. There's just a ton of information there, and I just wanted to share that with you. So as we go throughout the day, be reminded that you will have challenges. You will always have challenges, and know that they are there to make your day, your life better, even especially when it appears to be detrimental. And if you can get some therapy of any kind, honey, get some. And if you can't, get the book called Issues in Our Tissues. I'm not sure who it's by, but you want to get that. If you're afraid of therapy, you're afraid to go in and talk to somebody, get that book. I promise you will see a difference in the quality of your life. What you're seeing here is our link tree for Higher Learning Network. I'm always asking you, and I did not do it today, but I'm doing it now. Oops, that's for our cash app. That's if you want to donate to the homeless project. I'm looking for our Instagram. As you can see, we have the homeless project where we take the homeless. Well, we can't say homeless anymore. We're not supposed to. We're supposed to say unhoused. So if you go there, you'll see all of that. Yeah, unhoused. I mean, it makes no sense to me.
It's the same thing.
Thank you. It makes no sense to me. But this is our homeless effort. Go to Instagram.com and type in hln.homeless.project. We're always helping those who are in need. As you can see, the area that we serve is right here on Des Plaines Avenue between Taylor and Roosevelt Road. I don't know what happened, but stuff happens. But anyway, you can go to our Instagram and see that. And some of them are just so, this computer is just slow. I just need my computer. I just need to clean it. That's all. Just keep it real. I will do that after the show today. Did I just get rid of everybody? Did I do that? Okay, there you are. Bring them back, Zelda. Bring them back. Okay, there you go. Any closing final thoughts for those who are listening who want to get a copy of the book and to share this and to get a copy of the book and share it with someone who is incarcerated? I think that would really help them go a long way. I think that would.
I agree with that. I've had several individuals state that after they finish with their copy, they sent it to one of their loved ones because they can let them know that there is something, there is hope to be found in those dark spaces. And sometimes we have to be our own hope sometimes.
Yes.
Because we can't expect or always find ourselves being given this hope by other external forces. We have to find it within ourselves, and not necessarily from a vain perspective, but from a introspective perspective, like, okay, this is within me. God, would you help me when the deficiencies that I have so that I can be stronger? I mean, I just believe that we all have what we need within us if we know where to look.
And if we can get quiet long enough and do some deep breathing, you'll be just fine. And you have to trust. And I want to thank you, Marcos, and I want to thank you, Janika, for coming on and sharing your story. And I want to call it a love story because that's what it is. It's a story not only about between two people, but it's about self-love. Because you've taken the time. This is work. This is work. It takes time to gather your thoughts and to be vulnerable, to share your experience. So I commend you, my brother. I look forward to seeing you on tour. I look forward to seeing the documentary with Janika in it. And we'll have our own Love Jones right here in the city of Chicago, in the state of Illinois, in the US of A.
That is so sweet.
We know with God, all things are possible. Closing final thoughts. 60 seconds for both of you. Janika, you want to give us a closing final thought?
I just want to say that I'm so proud of you, Marcos. And I want to thank you for allowing me to just have a say on your show as well. It was a blessing to meet you. And everyone just stay prayed up. That's my closing statement.
Amen. Thank you, Jacob.
I would just say I too am appreciative of you allowing me this space to tell my story, because a story unheard is like a story untold, and you've given me a space on which I can share my story. And that if individuals are desirous of getting the book, I would prefer that they get it from me, so that way I can sign it, and so that way Amazon can not continue to steal my royalties like they did while I was in prison.
Thank you.
So there is that. But
And
I appreciate this. I
I'm so
appreciate
very
this time.
glad you said that. Always direct contact with the author. Eliminate the middleman, because
Disintermediation. That's the
yeah,
term.
intermediation.
Disintermediation.
Okay.
Disintermediation. Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, cut out the middleman, because we don't, because we love the fact. Thank you, Naima Latif. Our oops, she just cut us off too. Well, the show's over. She said it was a good show, and I want to thank you for being here, part of the show today. As I leave you with closing thoughts from YouTube, Writing Center Wonders. Thank you, Marcos. They said
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
thank you. Thank us as the Universal Spirit. We thank the ancestors for being here with us this morning, for making this show possible. I am so very grateful to be a part of it. We give thanks. We acknowledge the presence of the elders who are with us here this morning. We give thanks. We give thanks. Ashe.
Ashe.
Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned tomorrow morning. Self-care with Jody Susan. May all your days be filled with that of love, of life, and of laughter, and a good heartfelt, when you touch your heart and say, I cannot believe this man went through what he went through, and he is still standing. By the grace of God, we appreciate you. We look forward to having you, bringing you back here on the Female Solution, because we want to have you as a mentor for our children. So thank you. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned tomorrow morning. Jody Susan, self care, 7 till 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 days a week. And we'll see you tomorrow.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host.
Grand Rising, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks, the stressologist. Any stress in your life? Well, most of us do. Unfortunately, we don't know what to do with that stress, especially as it relates to worry. I was once a worried about everything, and I finally figured it out with some training. Yeah, I've been certified with the American Society of Training and Development, National Speakers Association, and a host of others. But none of those organizations helped me stop worrying. They just gave me validation for the public to see what credentials I have. So the credentials I have now are from life experience, and I've learned how not to worry. And you can learn how not to worry too, because it is indoctrinated in us to worry. We don't have the answers, so we think the worst is going to happen. Well, I got a solution to that, and that is the Worry Workshop. So I'm going to pull that up for you on my blog. Why do you worry when you don't have to? Go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, and you can sign up right there and find out how you. And remember, sharing is caring. If you care about yourself and your loved ones, help them see their way out of a mess. Give them the gift. It makes a great birthday gift. It makes a great holiday gift. So instead of running to the store getting something that they really might not need, Give them a worry-free life. Give them the gift of a worry-free existence. And thanks for sharing. Make it a great day.
Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing. Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing. Love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, let me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network. Juvenile.